It's not funny. I have seen Biafra and Bāthēd in Biafra. Joe Igbokwe Lâmēñt. Good day, everyone in the house. You're welcome to our special broadcast for today. Well, quite fortunate that today's broadcast is coming up with the Biafran headline. And Joe Igbokwe happens to be coming out very strong this time, feeling so remorse concerning what the people are saying about him, and is not showing interest in the pursuit for Biafra despite being an Igbo man. So here in this broadcast is seen giving people his reasons and why he is not willing to be a part of the pursuit. All right. From this broadcast, according to Joe Igbokwe, he said that no one can be more Biafran than I do. I have seen Biafra and have lived Biafra and be Bāthēd in Biafra. Let me tell you some things. It is not funny, according to Igbokwe. I was about 9 years old in May 1967 when Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu pronounced what is today known as the Southeast, together with a good chunk of the present south of Nigeria, as an independent Republic of Biafra. Those were heady days. Why Nigerians consider Ojukwu just a lieutenant colonel in the Nigerian army? To us, he was the general of the People's Army, a deity of some sort who did not wrong. Ojukwu was all known. After all, he had been to Oxford, one of the best universities in the world. His father was the great Louis Philip Odumegwu Ojukwu, the richest Igbo man in the world, with massive property across Nigeria. He was also one of the most senior Igbo military officers, who argues with a man with such education, money and military might, despite all the grammar spoken in different cities across Africa, to stop a dangerously fast-moving train. Less than 2 months later, the Civil War began, and the big guns began to boom everywhere, and the rifles began to rattle. I was in primary school, but it all ended very fast. There was no longer any school. The primary school in Ogada Ata, my village, was converted to the headquarters of RAP, which manufactured the locally made bombs known as Ogbonigwe, Killer of Multitude, and the Biafran Shore Battery. My brothers and sisters in Nollywood have shot some movies trying to recreate the dire situation in Biafra. I can tell you that none of them has in any way truly captured the incredible sufferings, deprivation and anguish that I witnessed under the relentless bombardment, air raid and economic blockade. Please try eating without salt for 1 month and tell me what it tastes like. In Biafra, there was no salt, no sugar, no bread, no soft drink, no beer, no drugs, and no food for much of the 30 months the war lasted. The only thing that looked like food to me, or more than 80% of the population, was the 3 spoons of cornmeal that looked like poo put in your plastic plate twice a week at a feeding center after you had stayed on the line in the sun for hours. Of course, some people collapsed and died on the line while waiting for the food. that no sane person will recommend for his dog. The dead were simply taken off the line and buried in shallow and unmarked graves, and the struggle with death continued. If death did not come by way of starvation and disease, it came through the bullets of a Russian-made MiG fighter jet endlessly flying above and terrorizing innocent people who had no hand in any couple or insurrection. If you fell ill in Biafra, you died pure and simple. There were no drugs to deal with anything. Unfortunately, there were many reasons to fall sick as the war went on and Biafra lost a lot of territory. Many people fled to strange places, living under very insanitary conditions with no food and no drugs and no work. Strange leaves were attacked for food. Rats, rabbits, lizards, and snakes were chased after with frenzy in search of badly needed protein. The picture of the average Britain child was that of a big head, big tummy, tiny neck, very tiny limbs, sunken eyes, and pale color. In the midst of that, there were Biafrans who made a killing, hijacking and selling relief materials sent by charity organizations like Red Cross and Caritas to soften the blow. Of course, they must have companions in Biafra. It was a shortwave radio to listen to Radio Biafra and BBC. There was no electricity and no new batteries. All kinds of imaginative ways had to be developed to make batteries last forever in Biafra. Biafra radio, the original one, not the iPod one, must have been the first real mobile in history. It kept telling you that it was broadcasting from Enugu despite the fact that everyone knew that the station was constantly on the move since Enugu had long been lost to Nigeria. The propaganda was ineffectuous and there was no one better at it than the great Okoko Ndem on Radio Biafra. Everything Biafra was good and everything Nigeria was evil, and the gallant Biafran soldiers with their bare hands were slaughtering the Vandals, despite the sophisticated equipment supplied to the Vandals by the neo-colonialist British. At 10, I had memorized and imbibed the Biafran national anthem, Land of the Rising Sun. We love and cherish, beloved home, land of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes, but if the price is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. There was no doubt in my mind that our course was right and our method unquestionable. I did not see how we could lose the war. I sought to join the Biafran Boys Company, the youth arm of the military that undertook surveillance work behind enemy line. I was devastated when I was rejected. I was told I was too young. And then came January 1970 and my village was overrun, and 1 week later the war was over. The general of the people army had flown out in search of peace. Incredibly, we lost it. It did not make sense to me. I have asked myself since then whether the Biafran adventure could have been undertaken in a different ways, as I see the anger and frustration of the moment and listened to the argument back and forth. I asked myself whether we are prepared to make the same huge mistake twice in a generation. Just look at Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, ISIS, Boko people, and all the movements that the world is battling with, and you see how easy it is these days to start an unquenchable fire with a Radio Biafra or WhatsApp platform with thousands of unemployed, hungry, and desperate young people with little hope. This is the real challenge of our time. So please, for those who misquotes me, if I am not seen carrying a placard and flexing my muscles everywhere for a sovereign state of Biafra, I beg that you understand. I am not a coward. I remain a very proud Igbo man committed to a great future for the Igbos, but I have already seen Biafra, lived Biafra, and been battered in Biafra, and it is not funny. So I felt the best is to maintain one Nigeria. Wow. Well, very interesting one anyway from Joe Igbokwe. Well, my viewers, what do you have to say about what Joe Igbokwe have said? It's interesting. Let me hear from you from the out there. Don't forget to leave your comments below the comment box. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell button to receive more updates. Thank you.